Good evening.
Very good.
I met Sir in 2015, but I was searching when to make a leap from the red ocean to the blue ocean, if you can continue with the theme. Or I would say from becoming an investor to a better investor. That's how the title sir suggested which we have journey from an investor to a portfolio planner. So anybody interested to know about the journey that how I went through the journey?
Yes.
We'll try and keep it interactive. I have only 12 slides, out of which one or two are going to be general, but I'll present 2 case studies and I'll pepper up in between with a few queries in between. Brief agenda about myself and my investment journey, the mistakes I make, the lessons I learned, the importance of upskilling. Can we understand the upskilling purpose? Different class of players in cricket as the World Cup is going on. You would find a Cheteshwar Pujara in a cricket 5-day match. A Sachin does well in a 50-over match, but a Kohli does well in a 20-20 match. So that's the differentiation. Everyone has to upskill. The importance of individuals, family, financial wellness. This is one case study I have. The second one is importance of portfolio planning for a family, HNI, NRI client. Lastly, at the end of everything, we saw all the statistics. But does the portfolio planner or a financial planner add value? Is something which we need to answer. Okay, so the biggest quest we have to know about yourself. So I'm sure people spoke about many other things. Has anybody heard of this MBTI, Myers and Briggs type indicator, MBTI? This is an institute, or rather this philosophy they have worked out. They identify people on 16 different personality types: extrovert, introvert, judgmental, innovative, etc. So what am I? I did a test myself. I paid for the reports. I'm a extrovert, intuitive, more judgmental, more on the brink. That's something to do myself. Now, why is it important here? 6% of the male populations are ENFPs. This is a bit of your uniqueness. Warm, enthusiastic, empathetic, caring. I think these are the few of the qualities which a CFP or a financial planner or a portfolio planner needs to have. And this is purely scientific. You type out ENFP characteristics and you will find it. So these are from Wikipedia. Strong people skills is what my inherent strength is. Relates well to others. Again, as something is an important trait. Able to think abstractly and understand difficult and complex concepts, which ideally a portfolio planner or a financial planner would be encountering. Key skills are perceiving complicated patterns and information and assimilating it quickly. So these are the qualities inherent based on the scientific assessment. I was always fascinated with numbers in finance. How does this thing work? Nobody in my family per se prior to this had invested in the stock markets. Well, we also had a few CAs and distant families. So by 97 I was done with the academics. From 97 to 2007 I was a freelance working as an engineering consulting firm. In the summer of 2001, when I was around 25 years old, I had an opportunity to tour around 7 countries in Europe. That is where the change I came across, a new interest which was there. 2007, you get married and then you get settled and then you find a job. You stop doing your freelance thing. So at the end of it, by 2007, I joined an MNC. The intent of upskilling yourself or to increase your knowledge was always there by way of reading journals, newspapers, magazines, and keep yourself motivated. 2011, 2013, 2 years I worked towards achieving my professional certification in project management, which is from PMI USA. That's when I consciously thought about investing in yourself, because the knowledge which you put in yourself, the information which you gather, the learning which you is always going to be staying with you. It will not be taken away, right? 2014, 2015, changed my job, initiated my transition from being an investor to IFA. This is where I met Sir. 2017 to 2019, I had committed 5% of my yearly income towards my own investments to upskill myself. And Sir knows about it. Every year I keep aside. Now I bundle 3 years into 1 or whatever. So I went through various trainings: financial planning, investment planning, financial reporting analysis, portfolio planning, everything. Now what is which makes me unique per se, or anybody for that matter? Over the course of last 18 months, I would have met across 200 plus families to understand their requirements and create a plan for them. And I assessed. I have invested around 4,000 hours practicing, reading, attending online, offline trainings, webinars, and conducting financial awareness sessions. Discovering interesting concepts, ROI versus ROTI. Who's aware of ROI versus ROTI? This is not the roti that we eat. Anybody can make a guess? What is ROI? What is ROTI?
Total investment.
Return on time invested. So that is where the difference is. Importance of upskilling. Anybody from the IT background would be aware of the Moore's law. Transistors per microprocessors. The Moore's law, in summarize, it says computing power doubles every 18 to 24 months. Tell me who doesn't change your phone after 2 years?
Doesn't change.
Doesn't change.
Okay.
So everybody changes. Why we need more processing power? We need a new model. At the end of it, slow हो जाता है. PC change करना पड़ता है. Right or wrong? So this is the basis, the Moore's law. And at the same time, the Moore's law also says you get the same computing power at half the price. So when you buy a new phone, you pay more the price and more the power of the computing. So the old phone will be available at a cheaper rate, right? Why? Because nobody is using it. So this is the Moore's law, and over the last 40 years plus, it has not been challenged. 1971 to 2017, this has been consistent. Intel and Microsoft keep on upgrading. So by default, your phone will not upgrade to the next level because it is an old phone. So it's counterintuitive. Now how does it apply to us? Every industry is remotely linked to the technological advancements. Any industry, whether it is farming, the oldest industry, 10,000 years we have been a farming community as a human race. 10,000 years. Okay? Since last. उसके पहले नहीं था. उसके पहले hunter था. हमने सुना. Then became a farmer. Career spans have reduced. On an average, through a study, earlier career spans was एक लाइफ स्पैन में 2 जॉब 3 जॉब किया. अभी 3 साल में एक जॉब एवरेज चेंज होता है. If you look at the corporate, every 3 or 4 years, either you become redundant or you have to find a way out, or somebody else can do the work at a cheaper rate. So you are not required. Competition never ceases to take. Can anybody stop competition? Every year, 10 lakh engineers are getting inducted into the industry. तो पुराने कहाँ जाएंगे? Is the industry size growing at that rate? No. So you need to upskill yourself. Now, whether you choose to upskill into engineering, you choose to upskill into operations, choose to upskill into something else, or a completely new industry. As we say in asset allocation, equity and debt, I did the asset allocation here. Disruptive innovation is always a possibility. Who thought 10 years back that you would have a WhatsApp or a Skype, and you will be able to talk to your family and friends across anywhere in the world at a dirt cheap price. Anybody thought about it? Because in mid-90s, the incoming rate, which is now free, was around 16 rupees for a mobile phone. Today, even outgoing is free at places if you use a VoIP. Is it not? Upskill, reskill in your own industry or choose an alternative career. I chose something else. Discuss later as IFAs and finance professionals how upskilling is important and role of a coach. Coming to the first case study, now this gentleman, I wouldn't name him, but he attended my session which I conducted for alumni. And a question I threw at them. I said, everybody of you around 45 to 50 years of age, earning a decent package of around 20 lakh rupees, keep aside 15 lakh rupees for your requirements. If for an average 5 lakh rupees per year of savings for the last 10 years, do you have 50 lakhs in your account? And they were with their spouses. So things were, this was not on the agenda, I threw at them. Not a single hand went up, unless somebody was retired or somebody had some other savings. But in their corporate life, I said no. And I presented a scenario that if you are able to do this, which around is 1 month of your monthly expense, if you can keep aside, you can do wonders over the next 10 years. So this gentleman, immediately after the session, he invited me home. Hey, would you come and give the same presentation to my family, which was comprising of 5 elders, 2 grown-up kids, aged 52, this gentleman. Annual salary roughly around 30 lakh rupees. Father age 82, spouse 51, son 21, 18. Is this legible?
Yes.
Yes.
So what were his scenarios? 1.9 CR flat में रहते हैं. Financial assets, mutual fund, equity, debt, LIC, etc., etc. 1.5 CR. Liquid assets, 25 lakhs. Now, in the course of our presentation and second and third round of meeting, we got to know the family was keen to dispose the financial asset and invest that amount into another flat in the same locality for the same price. So my counter to them was that over the next 8 years, when you're going to retire, who will be bear the EMI cost? The answer is, my son is now going abroad, he will earn. I said, do you want to put the load onto him for the next 15 years to pay the 1 lakh EMI? The answer was no. Educated them on the scenarios and oriented them towards their short-term, medium-term and long-term goals, importance of retirement corpus, which they had none. And you will be surprised, equal amount of their monthly expense, roughly 40,000 rupees per month, was invested towards the largest insurance company for a total cover of 1.5 crores for 3 members. The gentleman who sold them this policy has sold them a slew of policies, the way we heard earlier. One of the participants said, 25 policy लेके रखा था, एक पूरा होगा दूसरे का प्रीमियम भरना पड़ेगा. So same scenario, even the housewife who was a homemaker not working was covered. Even the son, just because he turned 18, he was covered. Because they think that was the right thing to do. I educated them and I presented only one line statement for the insurance. I said I can half your cover and increase your insurance coverage by, I can half your premium outgo and increase your cover by 5 times. Now, on further evaluation, why was the portfolio not moving? They had a portfolio which they handed over to a relative son who was working with a brokerage firm. Result was a portfolio of 1 CR with 110 scripts only, yielding less than the risk-free rate, मतलब 8%, obviously with 100% exposure to risk. वो करते रहते हैं, हम उसको पैसे डालते रहते हैं. It's simple. I said you are moving nowhere. I help the family understand the importance of having a personal family planner to avoid products which are not in line with their needs, with their short-term, medium-term, long-term needs. I provided the guidance in the portfolio using the principle of RRTT LLU. Who's aware of this term? We will discuss later in the slide. Now, the second case study, importance of portfolio planning for a family, large family, HNI or an NRI. Legible. What are the conditions before? Real estate, sell, plus one more, 3 crores. Financial assets, 70 lakhs. Liquid assets, 3 lakhs. Even in the previous slide, if you would have noticed, I gave a percentage breakup. Here, if you notice, this is a skewed percentage. After going through this scenario, this was the outcome. Real estate, 2 crores. Financial assets, by selling of the 1 crore from here, you would convert to financial asset. Liquid asset increased to 5 lakhs. Now, what was the scenario here? Before we met, they were unaware about their various financial products to suitability and their usability. Self-investing in an ad hoc manner into FDs, company deposits, equity, PMS, speculation, forex, mutual fund, and insurance. Right? So many asset classes. Inadequate cover of the earning members. There were 2 earning members in the family. They were not fully covered. After the session, educated the family members on the importance of portfolio management, cash rich versus asset rich. Realign the asset allocation and increase allocation to financial assets with the risk return, reward, tax, time horizon, legal requirements, liquidity, and the uniqueness of the family. That's the RRTT LLU principles. Constructed a diversified portfolio with a partial allocation to fixed income, large blue chips, selected mid-cap mutual funds, international equities, and AIF. The scenario now, the family is now in control of the finances and known to the exposure to the risk that they have. Enjoying growth in their capital and risk-adjusted return for the family portfolio. At the end of it, gain clients' trust and respect. Part 5. Now this is important. This question to you, everybody of us are here somewhere or the other IFS. Do we have value?
Yes.
How much? Yes to बोल दिया. Shreya?
Yes.
How much?
In the sense of planning, we add values
How? In numbers term.
in numbers, in percentage terms, maybe 50, 60.
Okay. Performance of the market versus an average mutual fund investor. Now these are the statistics taken from the US markets. S&P 500 index and the average equity fund investor. Hypothetical balance investments, returns versus average asset allocation fund investor. And the Barclays average bond index and the average fixed income investor. Is this more or less?
Yes.
Why? Why? N, which we discussed about a while ago, Ganesh, N is something which we can control, the number of years. You'll be surprised, a few months back, Reliance, one of the scheme completed 25 years. So they tried to see who are the original investors still invested. Out of the thousands of the number of folios, 36 people had stayed the course for 25 years. 36. And very sure, those 36 either were with an advisor who had their interest in mind. Now, can you think of Nobel Prize for someone talking about this scenario? This scenario? So simple, right? Now, this gentleman, somebody knows this?
Richard.
Yeah, correct. Richard Taylor. He got the Nobel for what? Behavioral finance. Now, according to a study by one of the largest AMCs in the world, which is the largest AMC in the world?
Black.
Nippon.
Vanguard. Okay? And they did a study, a detailed study, asking questions, assembling details. Advisor adds up to 3% in overall portfolio value. और जिसके लिए इनको नोबल मिला 50% of it is by virtue of behavioral coaching and balance is due to strategic asset allocation and regular rebalancing. So if you are confronted with this question, direct versus regular, you have this data and you have this data. This is the investment return, investor return. Lifetime return is equal to investment return plus investor behavior to the power of 2. Globally, investments, financials, 20% is knowledge, 80% is behavioral finance, which is more of an art, less of a science. Continuing, which I mentioned earlier, we're going to continue the upskilling part of it. Upskill, reskill in your own industry, choose an alternative career. As an IFA, the endeavor is to provide better value to your client base. Pick up a topic of your liking to be a specialized retirement coach, a family wellness coach, portfolio planner, CFP or a CFA. Now, because we have this setup here, that makes it all the more important. We can see all these opportunities that we have. We heard all the numbers that people have shared. Who's aware of this? Anybody can relate to this? Elastic range and plastic range. Rubber band, वापस आ जाएगा. But if I bend something, maybe of a steel, a spoon, will it come back to its normal position? No. There is a difference between elastic range and plastic range. Very small range, very small. Rubber band टूट जाएगा, वापस नहीं आएगा. That's gone beyond. चम्मच मुड़ जाएगा, सीधा नहीं होगा. There is only plastic range. Now, why this mention here? The role of a coach. The mind once stretched by a new idea never returns to its original dimension, said Emerson. The change in thought process is irreversible, neither quantifiable. That's where the coach comes into the picture, and if you pick up the right ones, which is of your liking, where you would like to add value, this is what it is. Now, everybody of us have 86,400 unique seconds given to us, right? Each of us, whether you are Prime Minister or anybody else. So I will use this to say thank you, because somewhere you gave me 1.5% of your time, that is 20 minutes.
Sir, do you mean that the index for passively managed funds are better than actively managed funds by the behavioral gap principle?
The difference is where do you invest? Actively managed fund and passively. Passively is nothing but index funds.
Yes.
Now, index has their own way of doing, like the way currently index are doing. We have only 6 or 7 stocks which are moving. Everybody else has fallen over 50%. So where does your index investing goes? And over a period of time, if you look at even 3 to 4% difference as we saw here, it makes a huge difference in terms of return. Now, I'll share a few simple statistics we have. In 2004, there was a movie called as Doom. Right? I'm not playing the music right now. We all remember that tone. It has been 15 years, but we still recall that tune. There have been 3 or 4 versions of the movie. Now, who recalls what was the value of Nifty at that point of time? It was 1,500. What was the price of gold at that point of time? Roughly 5,500. Anybody who got married or the close family members in 2004 will know. And what was the monthly household expense at that point of time? 5,000. Okay. Now cut it today. Where is the index? 11,000. Gold 31,000. Monthly household expense 40,000. Now, had you invested in that particular Nifty index, the journey from 1,550 to 11,000, the return would have been average 15%. But had you invested with an advisor or in an actively managed fund, the returns could have been in the range of maybe 15 to 17%. That's the difference. Because on an average, for the last 15 years, the study has shown 19% returns. It goes up to 25, it goes up to 30. So average is 98%. There is a recorded history.
There is a 2% expense ratio that while in case of passive fund, expense ratio is negligible. So 4% behavioral gap plus 2% expense ratio of 6% cumulative interest over the period of 15 to 20 years. It makes a huge difference.
So despite the expense ratios, they have given returns, real returns. So that's the difference.
In India, it is a growing market, so till there is a next 10 years, one can invest in active fund.
Yes.
But when India is going to be mature, like a US market, then definitely Vanguard, what they are promoting the index fund, it is a better choice. So till next 10 years, that yes, thank you very much, Jayesh bhai.